Lemonade Day.
I love Lemonade Day. I love Lemonade Day. We love Lemonade Day. I like it because it's fun.
Everybody is out buying lemonade, selling lemonade, drinking lemonade.
Get your lemonade! Get your lemonade!
Everybody's just really excited about Lemonade Day.
What Lemonade Day does is to make it exciting, to create a culture of fun that encourages people to start and run businesses.
Well, this is the kickoff this year's Lemonade Day, which I'm very excited to have Mayor Kip Holden come and proclaim Baton Rouge today, Lemonade Day in Baton Rouge, and having Michael Holthouse, who is the visionary founder of Lemonade Day, come out and help support us. And this is really the call to action. You know, it's a challenge. Who here can help us with this program from both a media sponsorship, a community partner, and then also people that can donate some money to this great cause. Like many entrepreneurs, I got my start with Lemonade, and I'm just excited there's a program that can actually help parents and help organizations actually take kids through and get them to learn how to set up a lemonade stand, which is kind of the start for a kid in business. You know, it's you got to come up with a capital plan. You know what kind of money you need to get your stand together, your lemonade together. You got to come up with a marketing plan. You got to learn how you're going to take your money. And the best thing about this program is that it has great materials that you can take your children through or take other kids through, and it also teaches you how not only to make a little money, it's to save a little money, and then also to share it in your community. So I love the community give back work. Well, thank you for coming, and it means a lot. I know you're all busy, and this is a great group of people, so I do appreciate you coming out. And the second thing I'd like to say is just why we're involved with Lemonade Day. And because some people, the first time they hear it, and they're saying, you know, if you're going to put your effort behind something, why Lemonade Day? And this why it's important to me is that like a lot of entrepreneurs, I got my first start with lemonade. It was the first business experience I had as a kid. And I was the kid in the neighborhood that organized the lemonade stands and then later hired his friends to be in the lemonade stands. And then I'm happy to say that my wife and I are involved with Lemonade Day with our kids today to teach them entrepreneurial values. And for me, entrepreneurship is important for several reasons. Obviously, the economic impact is big. It creates jobs and creates competition. It makes business better, which can help a community. But for me, too, is it creates leaders, and it creates business leaders and civic leaders. And it's kind of the things I strive for when I did, and I'm now involved with the community. So this is a good way and a great tie-in for me with my history and through Canc's to be involved and expose kids. Why this program's great is to expose kids to entrepreneurship. And, you know, it wasn't something my parents came in, but my dad was able to help me because he was a businessman to kind of talk about lemonade stands, right? Well, there's a lot of kids that parents don't do it or don't have a good format to do that with, and this is a program that is great. It's got great workbooks. It's got great ways to teach kids about how to start it, how to promote it, how to earn money, and then part of that deal, which Michael started, which is great, is the important part is it's about spending a little, saving a little, and then putting some back in your community. So for my kids last year, we did the Raising Cane's Dog Park at the Breck Parks, and Carl's here, and then we did the YMCA. And it's two things my kids, we do a lot together. So they earn money, and I think they made $100 each, and then we put like 20% of that back to those organizations, and they saved, and they got to spend a little money. So I think that's great. And I think my kids have an opportunity, because I'm always talking about business. There's a lot of kids that parents don't think about that, and they don't think about doing. There's parents, and then there's great groups like Big Buddy who took her kids through it and did it last year. And when you see it, when it happens this year, you're going to see lemonade stands all over Baton Rouge, and we get in the yellow lemonade Jeep, and we drive around, and we talk to these kids. They prepare, and they do, and they learn a lot in this deal, and maybe it's going to spark some ideas, whether it goes into anything. Maybe it's just a community piece they pick up, but they will pick up. There will be some new entrepreneurs. I went from one lemonade stand, and now we have over 100 locations. I got lemonade stands all over the country. It's kind of interesting. I serve fresh squeezed lemonade. So that's why I think this is important. I think it's a simple program, and I think it makes an impact. So I just want to tell you that's why we're involved. Last year was very successful. We had almost 4,800 kids in South Louisiana that did it. You know, this started, we've been involved in Houston area with it before I even knew about it. We had some of our managing partners over there that got involved in Houston years ago, and they thought it was a good program. And they told me briefly about it, and it was when John George, my good friend, came to me and said, hey, I talked to Michael, let's bring Lemonade Day to South Louisiana. This was last year. I thought it was a great idea, and we jumped on it, and I think we've done a good job. I mean, last year we had 4,800 kids went through the program last year, and that was when we got a jump start. We had about 3 months to do that. And half of those were in the Baton Rouge area. The other half being in the New Orleans area. And I'm happy to say with that success, John, thank you for partnering, the whole staff at Baton Rouge Area Foundation for partnering with us this year, setting up the nonprofit, and really taking it to the next level this year for Baton Rouge and for Lafayette here. And we're also going to help support John in New Orleans. So I'd like to turn it over now to really the person, I'd say it's a visionary philanthropist, and to Michael Holthouse. And this was, and I can tell you briefly how he came up with the idea of working with his children. But Michael's taken what his vision was, and an extreme philanthropist, and is really creating a national program, as already has a national outreach, and I really feel like you guys are just getting started up. So if you can welcome Michael and me. Flew all the way in from Houston.
Well, thank you all very much for being here. I'd love the opportunity to meet each and every one of you, and I can't thank you enough for your participation and what it is that you're going to be doing for the youth of this great community and, frankly, all across Louisiana. Todd, thank you for taking this on. You are the quintessential kind of entrepreneur. A visionary, a person who cares about their employees, their customers, their community. You are the kind of role model that we love to be associated with. So I am absolutely thrilled. And of course, John, you're incredible. What you've done in New Orleans and convincing Todd and building community is miraculous. So thank you
I'm
for
just
that.
lucky to have friends like Michael and Todd. And Gwen.
So the comments that I'd like to make, and they've given me about 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to have to talk quickly, it is more of a question. And the question is, do you give a man a fish, or do you teach them to fish? Well, I think if we kind of took a poll, all of us here know what that answer is. And yet, you got to wonder, is that what we're doing in America today? Is that what we're doing across our country and really providing the kind of tools and capabilities and the enthusiasm for our kids to not just go get a job, but to create a job, to really be able to decide what sparks in their mind and have them pursue and achieve the American dream? And isn't that what our great country is all about? Well, along those lines, my daughter, a number of years ago, Lissa, who was 10 years old at the time, came to me with those big eyes that make Daddy melt and says, "Daddy, can we get a turtle?" A turtle? Well, we've got dogs, we've got cats, we've got fish, we've got rabbits. We had every kind of animal, all of which she doesn't play with, just like your kids. And I said, absolutely no. So the next morning, bright and early at 6 a.m., Lissa comes bounding in with this great plan to do a lemonade stand. Well, it was an amazing day for us. In fact, I would argue one of the greatest days we ever had together. Now, being a reasonably successful entrepreneur myself, what I realized over the course of the day is that I was guilty, as everyone else is, about not taking the time and sharing with Lissa what business was all about. I mean, we did advertising and marketing and talking about how the ice chest is part of the capital equipment. I mean, revenue and revenue and profits. Wow, it was a real newsflash when Lissa's standing holding this stack full of money and says, "Daddy, look how much money I've made." And then I had to explain to her the difference between revenue and profits. I didn't have the heart to tell her about taxation yet. We just kind of, but it was extraordinary, and it really got me thinking about what we could do and the kind of experience that we could provide youth all across the country. So with extraordinary people like you, we are partnering together, and we are focusing on the next generation of our communities, and we're giving them the tools to do something great, where they set a goal, and they make a plan, and they work hard against that plan, and they can achieve their dream. And doing a lemonade stand is frankly no different than doing that in life.
This thing has just really snowballed since last year. I was very excited about having Lemonade Day come to South Louisiana last year, but I was very surprised in the short period of time we were able to put it together. We actually got 4,800 kids went through this program last year, and then this year we have so much more excitement and involvement already when it's getting started, so I look to really increase those numbers this year.
Lemonade Day has grown. This is our 6th year. We went from we did 2,600 stands our first year in Houston. We're now in 43 cities across America, expect to do over 200,000 lemonade stands this year.
What do the kids get out of it participating, and also the parents too?
Well, frankly, it's a life-changing experience. It turns out that a lemonade stand teaches you about how you set a goal, how you make a plan, how you work hard against that plan, and ultimately achieve your dreams. So it's setting goals, and it's doing budgets, and it's going out and getting a loan for the seed capital you need. It's site selection and creating a product and marketing. It's extraordinary. And it all culminates when these kids start their stands all on the same day, which we call Lemonade Day, and it becomes a community-wide event where thousands and thousands of people come together, look these kids in the eye, ask them questions about their business, and of course, buy lemonade.
What's your goal? What would you like to see happen with this program 5-10 years from now?
You know, over time, I want to see every child in America do a lemonade stand. In 2013, our big goal is to do 1 million stands across this country. And when we do that, I mean, it's going to change how kids see the world, from where they are to this whole set of opportunities. Instead of getting a job, creating a job, and it's a way for all youth across the spectrum to learn what the American dream is all about.
What's your reaction to how it's grown so far?
It's fabulous. I mean, it's amazing. I have never met a person that, frankly, didn't think Lemonade Day was a good idea. I mean, you probably did a lemonade stand when you were a kid as well, and you remember it, which kind of tells you a lot about the impact that it had in your life.
Oh, there's so many positive life lessons you can learn from doing a lemonade stand at a young age. You learn the skills of a business person, the philanthropy of a leader, how to make money, how to share that money with charity, all the lessons we all know and we do every day in our adult lives.
What's your reaction to how it's grown so far in Louisiana and nationwide?
Well, we're so excited to have companies like Raising Cane, led by Todd Graves, its founder, supporting Lemonade Day right here in Louisiana, and Auctioner Health Systems and my company, Georges Enterprises. Business community stepping forward to teach children the lessons they need to learn to be great adults in their future life.
We cannot turn our backs on our kids, and regardless of what status we have in life, we must always include them and let them know they have boosters.
What's your reaction to how this has grown?
It's absolutely fantastic because, you know, when you watch these children, you know, I'm going like, gee, you know, where was this program when I was growing up, you know? So I didn't have to nickel and dime my mom and dad. But the bottom line is simply this. Again, focusing on education, moving children forward, letting them know there are some things you can do. You don't have to sit down and whine and hold your head down. Look up. Look at what people are doing. Look at what things are going on to help you, and especially those focused upon your work and schools, and you have the answer to whatever you want to be.
It was great having all the support out, the excitement that's coming out about it, and all the people jumping in to be involved.
If people have questions or like to get involved or more information, what should they do?
Yeah, you know, if you want to be involved in Lemonade Day, go to lemonadeday.org and you look up Baton Rouge, and you can definitely be involved somehow.